One of the most gruesome discoveries, however, were 4 dozen human bones, 80% of which showed evidence of being defleshed, cut, and boiled, a stark contrast to the mummy burials that were interred within the cave. The bones show clear proof that there was some sort of cannibalism going on with the inhabitants of the cave. The dates, the similarities in material culture, especially the evidence of cannibalism, and the accounts of Spanish explorers detailing the peoples who lived in the region Cueva del Maguey is in, led to the conclusion that this site was built and inhabited by the Xiximes, an indigenous people from the highlands of Durango that were infamous for their prowess as warriors and going on raids to collect prisoners of war who they would sacrifice, cook, and consume. Evidence of this being found inside the cave. In many Spanish accounts, the Xiximes participated in warfare and raids for half of the year. They had to do this to ensure next year's harvest was bountiful. They would drag those they killed back and then cook them in a large ritual to share in a meal with the entire group and consume the souls of the fallen. The bones would be kept and would be used to help in the planting of corn and help the cycle continue. It is said this is why they stored them and the reason they were found in such high numbers in Cueva del Maguey. There's also the fact that complete arrows have been found alongside the pits of sapote fruit. The symbolism of these 2 items were noted by Jesuit missionaries at the end of the 16th century in the Highland people of Durango, and how in these cliffside dwellings, the natives would place a sapote tree on whose base they'd place offerings that would include complete arrows and the occasional bone. The style of dwelling they made in the caves was also recorded by Spaniards and is eerily similar to those in Cueva del Maguey. One account wrote about how the Xiximes and Acachis in the Sierra constructed houses on the sides of cliffs which would have rounded doors of vara, or 1.8 meters in length. It is speculated that due to the intergroup conflict that occurred between the Xiximes and other tribes, they chose locations that could be easily defended and where they could see everything from above in case any enemy approached, as was seen in the location of Cueva del Maguey. These cliff dwellings were also recorded in 1604 as housing family units. Quote, "They weren't very close, but each was with their children, grandchildren, and relatives in small settlements built on some hills or peaks that were difficult to climb, and the reason was the continuous wars among themselves, even though they were of the same nation and language." Unquote.